Hello, Earth Signs. Happy Friday. Welcome to your daily focus tarot. So, for you today and for everybody else, we have the Tower. And we also have for you the Tower and Judgment. Well, everybody else so far. I haven't done fire signs yet. So, the Tower, this talks about having a sudden breakthrough, a sudden change, something happening. This particular tower to me is more of an aha moment than an outside change. It's more of like an inner breakthrough, a breakthrough in your thinking or in your spiritual practice or in terms of something that's been troubling you. It's like you have the sun ability to see things from a different perspective. And the clarifiers for it, you have the Sun in reverse and the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands, it's talking about carrying a burden that's a soul burden. It's something that has weighed heavily on your mind, on your heart. It's something you've been dragging around with you for a long time. Maybe you felt you had to, but because it's a 10, it's a beginning, it's an ending and a beginning. So it's the start of a new cycle. You're having this aha moment about how to drop these burdens, how to change your way of thinking about them or your way of being. And the sun, sorry about that. The Sun in reverse. This is talking about... Dang, everything wants to fall on the floor today. Got the dropsies. Okay, the Sun in reverse. This can be talking about having a lack of clarity because of, like, arrogance, selfishness, being overly optimistic, that type of thing. To me, this was like a lack of clarity because, maybe you were disappointed in the reality of things and you felt like this can't be true. You felt like you were carrying this burden that wasn't really yours, that other people put on you because you felt like, no, this can't be right, this can't be true, I don't believe this. So you weren't having that growth, you weren't having that creativity, you weren't having that knowledge that the Sun in the upright would bring you. And this Tower moment is suddenly like, oh, now I get it. Now I know for certain, and I can't keep going on the way that I was going on because now I know. Now I understand. Judgment. This in the Druid craft is the rebirth card, but it speaks to, from a religious point of view, it speaks to like Judgment Day, which is the day of souls being called back up to heaven and leaving the bodies, and you can kind of see that there. So it talks about, the souls leave the bodies because they no longer need the bodies. Right? So this talks about letting go of things that you no longer need, things that are no longer, like you're doing a self-evaluation and you're purging the things that hold you back, that keep you under, that keep you from being your higher self, from being your best self. These are the things that you don't want to take with you moving forward. So this is also a card like the Tower of Transformation. These are both cards of transformation. It's a card of making the decision to follow a new direction, like an inner calling, and to have that renewal in your life. And the two clarifiers Seven of Cups and Three of Cups. And cups are, most people read them as romantic, emotional, sometimes spiritual, although wands are supposed to be the spiritual card. To me, cups are also spiritual because the mental and emotional, like, all the suits kind of play off each other to me. So, Seven of Cups, this is a card of possibility. You see he's got the one cup there, and here's these other cups in the water, and this card is great because it's not clear if these cups are actually, like, under the water, and he could just, reach down and grab them if he wanted to, and he's, like, thinking about, like, how do I grab them? How deep is that water? Or, like, they could be a reflection from somewhere. I don't know. It's kind of like, is he dreaming the cups are in the water, or are they actually in the water, or are they reflected from somewhere? And you're looking at this, and you're seeing, like, this divide in the earth. You're seeing this water with this reflection, most likely an illusion, a daydream, because this card talks about wishful thinking, but it also talks about possibility. So there's not that clarity on whether it is an illusion or not, whether it is him just dreaming, or there actually being cups down there that he could grab. So when you're talking about judgment and leaving things behind, this is definitely a card of, there's that possibility for you to have more spiritually, to have more mental and emotional fulfillment, to have more of that flow in your life, and to be on solid ground with that flow. To not have it be something that gets taken away from you easily, or something that, like, you're easily influenced by other people in a negative way. The other clarifier, the Three of Cups, this is talking about, it talks about celebration, collaboration, friendship, community. To me, this particular Three of Cups, sometimes I read it as the Fates, more so in the Ethereal Visions. This particular one, to me, is always something shady about it. Something very not right among the people, like somebody being dishonest or something. Somebody putting on a mask or a show, and not really like, maybe they're just your friend for you spending money on them going out to eat, and if you suggested something other than you're paying for going out to eat at a fancy restaurant, then they would cancel. They would cancel the hangout session. They would cancel, going to the movies if they knew that it was their turn to pay. That type of thing. So with the Judgment here, that could be the sort of thing that you're leaving behind, is these false friends, or these fair weather friends. And you have the possibility, you're thinking, I can always make new friends. There's a bunch of cups here in the water. There's a bunch of opportunities and possibilities for me to make new friends, for me to have things to celebrate. I don't need to hang on to these old friends who aren't really friends, who don't really care about me, and they're making you stagnant. They're stopping you from growing. It can also be that your friends influence you to, when you talk about the Judgment and leaving stuff behind, it can also be that your friends influence you too much to buy certain things, to live the high life when you really can't afford it, or it's not really something that you want, other than to, like, you're trying to blend in with a group, so you buy like a particular item or something, and you don't really care about that item. You know, you don't care about the brand name, or you don't care about what it is or anything, but everybody in your circle of friends has to have it, and you're suddenly realizing, no, I don't need that. I don't need those friends. I don't need to do everything that they're doing. And, you know, that is worth celebrating. Suddenly realizing that you don't have to be exactly like other people, and you don't have to do what they do. So to me, this judgment, you're leaving something behind, and it has to do with, like, if it's not friends, it could be your community in some way. Something that just wasn't right for you. You're leaving it behind in order to grow as a person, in order to get unblocked. Have a great Friday.